It's my great pleasure to have with us Imelda Purley to provide a traditional welcome and opening. Avant de commencer, c'est un honneur pour moi d'inviter Imelda Purley à procéder à l'accueil et l'ouverture de cette activité selon les traditions autochtones. Dr. Purley is a member of St. Mary's First Nation who is currently the elder residence at Chief Harold Sapir Memorial Elementary School. She is also a part-time instructor at UNB, teaching Wolastoqey language and Wabanaki worldview courses. Imelda is retired from her position as elder in residence for the University of New Brunswick. She continues her role as cultural advisor for community organizations, provincial and federal agencies. Her traditional roles within the community includes sweat lodge keeper, medicine wheel teacher, sacred pipe carrier, and keeper of the women's ceremonies.
Open Dolnabamak, Open Team Susan, Waji Gazayad Mawayat Degbem Kiskok, Dutch Meek with the Hudmanen, all the little work and Ludway Wagon, Abjil Nid, Dum Kizimilki, Nikan Dutch Meek with the Hudmanen, all the Uskamit Beltmoted Kitak Mikum Wawalas Tukawi. I welcome everybody to our traditional territory. David and I are presently at Tobic First Nation, and we're in our Wolastoq Language and Culture Center, and it is located on traditional unceded and unsurrendered territory of the people of the beautiful and bountiful river. The territory is covered by treaties of peace and friendship, which Wolastoqey first signed with British Crown in 1725. These treaties did not deal with surrender of lands and resources, but in fact recognized Wolastoqey title and established the rules for what was to be an ongoing relationship between nations. And just to add to that important land acknowledgement is there's a quote here that was written in November 1720 from the English Treaty Commissioner. So that way nobody thinks that we made this up. Quote, "We are directed by the government to tell you that the English have no design to take your country or any of your lands from you or to deprive you of any of your just rights or privileges." And the treaty commissions were appointed by the British Crown to negotiate treaties with Wabanaki nations in the 1700s. The Wabanaki nations include Wolastoqey, Mi'kmaq, Passamaquoddies, and Penobscots, and that was before the state of Maine. The reason I mentioned that is because I feel honored, Susan, that you asked for an Indigenous blessing in the language. It's a honor to my ancestors because for so long, what our languages haven't been considered important enough to be heard, or important enough to be taught, or important enough to be legislated. So in your campaign, it's about restoring the place of First Nations people to a position of honor, respect, and autonomy. This is a promise. What I just read from that treaty, relationship is what you're doing tonight. And I have to give gratitude for you stepping up to the plate. Not too many leaders have done this, to ask for a blessing at the beginning of their campaign. Sometimes it's after the fact that I get asked, but I really appreciate that I get to start this journey with you. Our great grandmother, Wolastoq, has heard her traditional and original name and is already healing. She needs all citizens to restore her cultural strength. And tonight, I honor Susan and her team, Susan, and everybody that's going to witness how she's going to be able to lead in a good way because her heart is already in it. What we do traditionally is, I've already lit a sacred fire. I have a little wood stove over there. There's a sacred fire there with an offering of tobacco, just to give gratitude for the passion within all of us with this support that we're giving Susan tonight. I've lit sage already, so there's a shell, which is the gift from the sea, and there's medicine in there that was already lit, just to bless and bring the spirit of her vision to all of you. I know it's virtual, but the intent is there, that when we do our smudge, we bring our minds together. We bring our vision together as like-minded citizens of what we're expecting Susan to be able to lead us in. We bring, we listen to each other, and that's what a leader does. A leader has to be a good listener, and remembering that the reason we have 2 ears and 1 mouth is our leaders are supposed to be better listeners than talkers. Sometimes we have leaders that talk, and don't listen. And so that's why we do the ceremony of blessing our ears. I promise to be a good listener. I promise to speak, truth. It's very important to speak truth. We bring the smoke to our hearts so that all of us, as part of Team Susan, our hearts will be one, because we want the same things for our province. We want the same things for our cities. We want the same things for our families. And this is what we're blessing tonight is let's join hearts tonight so that we can passionately, light those sacred fires within us to help Susan be led in a good way. I have an Eagle fan, and Eagle is a reminder of truth. Always tell the truth, whether we like to hear the truth or not. Sometimes it's painful to hear truth, but it's healing once you know that it's meant to be. We bring the smoke to our hands so that what we do is we wash our hands over the smoke so that we use our hands in a good way. We use our hands to write those policies that are good, sign our names to things that are important, for our province, and to make sure that we give gratitude to what we leave behind, because anything we sign, it's something that we leave behind for future generations. We bring the smoke to our feet so that each day we walk for the ones who can't walk. We stand for the ones who can't stand up for themselves. We speak for the ones who aren't heard. We hear the silence, of injustice and racism. And so there's a lot that's on this plate, and I really honor all of you for supporting Susan tonight as she begins this beautiful journey with us. Congratulations, Susan, and congratulations, everybody, for being here with her and for her and beside her. Uliwan, welcome. Kulasi Kopen.
Thank you, Imelda, for that welcome and for beginning this evening in a good way. C'est avec grand plaisir maintenant que je vous présente Susan Holt, notre candidate, pour qu'elle puisse enfin nous présenter sa vision du Parti libéral de demain. Now, it is my great pleasure to welcome Susan Holt onto the screen to share with us her vision for the New Brunswick Liberal Party of tomorrow. Over to you, Susan.
Liwan, Imelda, Blossomwez, thank you so much for those kind words. Merci tout le monde pour être ici. Thank you, everyone. I am trying to manage my emotions right now. I'm really excited to see all of your faces and to be starting this journey together with the spirit that Imelda has just blessed us with. So merci beaucoup. We're all here, I hope, because it's time for change. I believe it's time for big, bold change in how we talk to one another, in how we work together, in how we think about New Brunswick. Le temps est venu pour un vent de changement. Dans mes discussions avec les gens de la province, j'entends la même chose. On se sent exclu de la prise de décision et le système qui doit nous soutenir ne nous ressemble pas. As I talk to New Brunswickers and connect with them, I hear the same thing everywhere. Times have been hard and people feel left out of the decisions that affect them. And the systems that are supposed to support us are leaving them out as well. La politique d'aujourd'hui ne fonctionne plus. Politics as usual isn't working anymore. I want a future with better representation for you and your kids and mine and for future generations. I think we need a new politics unusual, where leaders bring open ears and open minds and open hearts, and they open doors to serve New Brunswickers where they're at. Je veux bâtir un avenir où tout le monde se sentira mieux compris et mieux représenté. Faisons de la politique engageante, où les leaders écoutent, ouvrent leur cœur et leur esprit et font de la place à tous les citoyens et citoyennes en les invitant à participer au débat pour vrai. Les gens de Nouveau-Brunswick méritent un leader transparent, authentique, empathique et qui travaille pour le mieux-être de tous et toutes. New Brunswickers deserve a transparent, authentic, empathetic leader that truly cares. I'm running to lead the New Brunswick Liberal Party of tomorrow, one that is a true vehicle for people who want change and believe in the nothing about you without you philosophy. Ensemble, nous construirons une équipe qui attire et célèbre les points de vue différents et les idées nouvelles. Alors pour ça, j'ai besoin de vous, de votre audace. I need you and your boldness to make these changes. We will break out of the back rooms and work out loud, connecting and collaborating with neighbors and communities. Our Liberal Party will be accessible, creative, caring, and led with heart. Notre Parti libéral sera accessible, innovateur, bienveillant et dirigé avec cœur. J'ai une grande vision pour le Nouveau-Brunswick. Devenons une province où un logement abordable et digne d'être appelé chez moi est une réalité pour tout le monde. Devenons un leader environnemental à cause de notre énergie propre et notre gestion durable des écosystèmes. Soyons une province où les peuples autochtones sont respectés. Une place où les idées audacieuses amènent une économie robuste. Une province où nous nous sentirons tous capables d'influencer notre avenir à travers une démocratie forte. Donnons-nous un Nouveau-Brunswick où chacun et chacune entre nous peuvent recevoir les services dont ils et elles ont besoin. I'll repeat that in English. I have a vision for New Brunswick where everyone has an affordable place to call home, where we're an environmental leader powered by clean energy and leaving a sustainable ecosystem for future generations, a place where Indigenous peoples are respected, a place where bold ideas drive a robust economy, and a place where neighbors and communities are empowered within a strong democracy, a place where everyone has access to the critical services that they need. I think it's time for our politics to change, bold change. Il est temps pour un vent de changement. It's time for collaboration and empathy to find their home in New Brunswick politics. It's time for a fresh new leader with open ears and an open mind who wears her heart on her sleeve. Je suis cette nouvelle leader qui sait écouter, s'ouvrir aux autres et qui a le cœur sur la main. Si cette nouvelle politique audacieuse vous attire, joignez-vous à moi et ensemble, on va brasser les choses. If you're ready for politics unusual, join me and together we will shake things up and make tomorrow's Liberal Party the vehicle for building a bold New Brunswick where everyone can live well.
Thank you, Susan. I know we're all very, very excited for the months ahead, and we look forward to hearing more about those bold ideas for the future of the Liberal Party and the future of our province. Merci, Susan. C'est inspirant de vous entendre parler de votre vision de ce que la politique, et je suis certain qu'on aura des questions pour vous. Alors, je vous invite à écrire vos questions. On a aussi, si vous voulez lever la main, on peut en profiter pour vous demander des questions. So if you have questions, feel free to write them into the chat or simply raise your hands. I do have a question, Susan, for you. I'd like to know, what is it that made you decide that this is the time for you to run to become the next leader of the Liberal Party of New Brunswick?
Oh, I mean, it really feels like it's time, doesn't it? The world is changing so much, and what we see happening across the country, around the world, tells me that we need a new kind of politics. You know, the institution of government and politics has not been changing as quickly as the world around us, and it's clear that there is frustration and are people who are really feeling left out. Alors moi, je pense qu'on a besoin d'un changement de système de politique, et ça demande des politiciens différents qui vont travailler dans une manière transparente, qui vont être inclusifs, et ils vont vont faire des décisions et ils vont collaborer dans une manière différente avec l'humanité. Est-ce que tu comprends? Comme, je pense que c'est le temps qui demande une nouvelle sorte de leader.
So you'll be traveling a lot in the province. You'll be meeting with New Brunswickers. I know you enjoy meeting people, but for you, what do you really look forward the most over the next coming months in connecting with New Brunswickers?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's getting out. I don't think I've been out of this room in the last couple of years. So getting to every corner of New Brunswick, hearing what's important to them, and better understanding the diversity of New Brunswick in each of our communities. Alors c'est justement ça. J'ai hâte d'être à tout le part en Nouveau-Brunswick, puis faire des connexions avec les libéraux et entendre et mieux comprendre qu'est-ce qu'ils veulent du parti pour demain et qu'est-ce que c'est leur aspiration.
On avait une question dans le chat de Jeanne d'Arc. Elle demande quelles sont tes principales qualités et compétences pour réussir ta vision?
Belle question, Jeanne. Merci beaucoup. Pour moi, je pense qu'il y a quelques compétences. Le premier, c'est mon compétence de trouver les meilleures personnes pour le rôle, pour assembler une équipe diverse avec de divers points de vue qui peuvent être alignés et qui peuvent travailler ensemble. Alors, that was my career, I think, for a lot of years, was a recruiter, going out and finding and building the best possible team of people to work for the people of New Brunswick and to bring ideas in and to create the open and accessible space. Alors, pour moi, c'est ça, c'est créer l'équipe or being a team builder.
Awesome. Another thing, so a lot of people are listening in tonight, are joined the Zoom call. How can we help? What can we do to make sure that you are indeed the next leader of the Liberal Party of New Brunswick?
That's a great question, Mario. Merci. Il y a plusieurs choses qu'on peut faire. First of all, coming and joining is number one. Two, our website, I think, is live now. So susanholt.ca. When you come to that page, you'll see a show your support button. That's how you sign up to indicate your support. And then really the best thing you could do is tell 10 more people. Because at the end of the day, this is a voting convention and we need to sign up support. There is a place to join the team if you want to volunteer. There is a button to donate if you'd like to contribute funds, because these undertakings do, well, there's a $30,000 fee to the party entrance, and then there's the cost of the campaign. And then it's spread the word, right? Share, tell your friends, book a call with me, book a Zoom session with me. Si vous pouvez partager le message, visitez notre site web susanholt.ca. Il y a des boutons pour indiquer votre support ou pour raiser votre main, pour élever votre main pour être bénévole ou faire un don. Alors, ça, c'est toutes les façons que vous pouvez m'aider.
Il reste encore quelques minutes, alors on vous rappelle, vous pouvez inscrire vos questions dans le chat ou lever votre main. So we still have a few more minutes. If you have questions, you can write it on the chat, or you can raise your hand. We see we have some visitors.
I have a couple people who wanted to say thank you and hello.
Hi.
It's going to be story time in just a couple minutes. So. Yeah, you see there was.
Hi, Nana and Granddad.
Okay.
We said that this was going to be a 30-minute show.
Yeah. This one is very interested in politics, so she's going to be my next campaign manager, I think. So.
That's good.
Just come 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes.
So maybe we have time for one more question. I see. Est-ce que il y a quelqu'un qui a posé la question? Est-ce que de qu'est-ce que vous pensez de la situation du bilinguisme dans la province du Nouveau-Brunswick?
Mais j'aimerais, quelqu'un m'a demandé la vision dans 15 années. Si tout le monde pouvait être bilingue en 15 années, je pense qu'on pouvait le faire avec une génération. C'est mes enfants qui apprennent le français en école maintenant, dans leurs premiers ans à l'école Connaught, ici à Fredericton. Alors, si tout le monde sur cette meeting Zoom pouvait se comprendre dans les 2 langues, peut-être dans les 3 langues, comme Imelda nous a démontré. On a une culture ici au Nouveau-Brunswick qui est riche. We have such a rich culture and history that comes from our roots, our Indigenous roots, the First Nations history here, as well as the Acadian history, and our bilingualism is one of the things that makes New Brunswick so special. So I would love for every person who lived here to be able to interact in both languages. And I think we need to take active steps to foster and strengthen that.
That's great. Thank you very much. Any last words, Susan, before we wrap up our event tonight?
Well, yes, that went by really fast, but thank you, Mario, for doing this. Thank you, everybody who just spent these last 30 minutes with us. Merci de le fond de mon cœur. I see your faces and your names and the support that you've given me to encourage me to do this and to support the journey really means a lot. So, Waliwan, merci beaucoup. Thank you, everyone. We've got a big job ahead, a lot of work ahead, but I welcome you to the team. I ask for your advice and support, and I thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everyone who joined us this evening. Over 100 people on Zoom on a Tuesday night. That is fantastic. I'd like to apologize for some sounds or things that were a little weird at one point. Apparently, there was some hackers or thing on a Zoom link. So it is 2022. Unfortunately, these things happen, but they were immediately removed and we have back our Zoom. Alors, je tiens à te remercier personnellement, Susan, et simplement de nous excuser des bruits bizarres que vous avez peut-être pu entendre. Ça a l'air qu'il y aurait eu des personnes qui ont infiltré la réunion et commencé à propager des bruits bizarres, mais on a rapidement réglé le tout. So, thank you, everyone. If anybody wants to sign off and just say thank you and sign off all at the same time, it would be great to just say, to kind of kick off the campaign. I know it's hard virtually, but I'm sure in the coming weeks and months ahead, we'll have a chance to spend some time together. Alors, si vous voulez simplement sortir de mute et simplement de dire merci à Susan et bravo à tout le monde. On a bien hâte de vous voir dans les mois et les semaines qui s'en viennent.
Merci, Susan.
Bravo, Susan.
Bravo.
Bon succès.
Merci.
Bon travail, Susan.
Merci, Réal.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Susan, thank you for taking this on. You're the person to do it, and it just takes lots of courage. And wow, you're amazing.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Here.